And just like that, we're back. You know, when you hear that music, we're about to hear something good. And this week, we are focusing on very good. We are talking to women in sales, sales leaders who have crushed it, have taken the pandemic and nailed it straight ahead. And no different today. I get to speak with my friend, my client, and fellow Gator, Cristy Ruiz. Tell me something good.
Hi, Steve. So it's something good. I think something good you kind of hit the nail on the head with this year. This year as a whole, we've had probably one of our best years yet, not just revenue wise, but in regards to the growth that's happened this year. It's been a really exciting year for me and for my team. So I'm looking forward to next year.
I'm excited to hear that, and we've been obviously excited to be part of it. So, what I want to focus on today is the specific challenges that women face in the sales realm. You've been with the same company for 17 plus years,
17
in
years.
a what's predominantly a male dominated universe. So, why don't you tell my audience who you are, how, what you do, and then we can jump right into what perspective you bring to it from a female perspective.
Sure, I'd love to. So my name is Cristy Ruiz. I work for City Furniture in South Florida, and I've been with the company for 17 years. I am currently the VP of Sales, and I've worked my way up. I started in sales, and like you said, that's not typically a female-driven career path, or at least not retail sales. And I really enjoyed it. The reason I stuck around as long as I have is I love the challenges of trying to work with new people, build relationships with different people every single day, and the excitement that comes with closing the sale. To me, I get a little bit of a rush, kind of like, when you play sports, you win a big game. I love the challenge and overcoming that challenge.
Love it, love it, love it. So you brought up sports, which is a great question for me to ask you. So I know you have a history in high school sports, I think college sports. Why don't you speak to what that experience was like and how you've used that as a learning platform for what you do now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I did grow up playing sports, predominantly basketball and volleyball. And basketball was really my main sport. What I did, I played on traveling teams and I played on high school teams. And we went to nationals 6 years in a row. So we were competing across teams, throughout the country with my traveling team. And then my high school team, we went to states 2 out of the 4 years, did not win either one, but both really good experiences. But really, what that taught me was the discipline of trying to get better every day, of challenging yourself and your team by bringing the best of what you have to practice every day and then obviously to the game. I love team sports. To me, it's so much fun when you can be part of a team and win together. It's really exciting. It's thrilling. And I just love the camaraderie that comes with it too.
You absolutely nailed it on the head. And I generally like working with people who understand athletics, understand that challenge. Can you relate how you've taken those skill sets that you developed to what you're doing with your team and what's gone on specifically with the pandemic? Because managing teams, during a pandemic has not been easy.
You're right. It hasn't. This whole world that we're living in right now has changed so much in terms of how we communicate, how we operate, how we manage our teams. There's a lot of video communication. There's a lot of checking in, a lot of meetings to hold people, to make sure that everybody's doing what they need to do and everybody has the support that they need. And, in terms of my team directly, one of the things that I've really come to learn throughout this pandemic is the importance of communication more than anything. We talk regularly, we talk daily, and that communication flows all the way down into the showrooms where we have our associates who are also yearning for that same type of communication. And it's also really important to be consistent. One of the things that I've seen with our team is that the more consistent we are in what we're saying and what we're doing, the actions have to follow the words. The more they're willing to trust that we have the best interest at heart, that we're looking out for them, and that they are our priority.
Love it. I love that. So you've been with the company for 17 years. You guys are experiencing wild growth. Can you speak to maybe what your thought is in terms of why and how you've managed this explosive growth?
Why and how? Sure. So the growth is exciting. The growth is happening. We had plans to grow. The plans are moving a little faster than we anticipated, which is also very exciting. But the how is really the key. And one of the things that we've really put into place this year that was lacking, at least in our sales world for some time, was the structure and the systems needed to be able to scale. And what I mean by that is everybody knowing their role, everybody knowing what they should be doing within that system in order to make sure that everything gets done and everybody gets what they need. And ultimately the customer can benefit and get the best experience from us as a whole. But there was a lot of people just trying to do everything before. And I think going back to the team thing, the power of teamwork, of delegating and trusting that people can do the job that they're expected to do, and then following through on that has helped us be able to do more.
Fantastic. I knew you'd be a great interview, and you are fulfilling that. So one topic I want to talk about, which is something that we've had a chance to work on, is that the idea that you are a working parent, and with pandemic came homeschooling, schools closing. So you've had to deal with this as the female of the house, or, as a parent, and you've also had to deal with it with your troops, about how they deal with, the added responsibilities and the added stress. So I was hoping that you can share some insight as to how it affected you, and then, as important, how you manage that to your team, because I know that's based on some of the work we've done.
Yeah, so you were with me through a lot of this when we got the news that schools weren't opening again in September. And, it's been challenging. It's one of those things that we never planned for, we never anticipated, and never in a million years that I pictured this was something I would have to worry about. But I do have a 6-year-old, almost 7-year-old, who's in first grade, and then I have a 3-year-old. And what we've been able to do has been because of my organization allowing us understanding that there's going to be some flexibility required, and that everybody's struggling right now trying to get through this. And luckily my husband was able to make some adjustments with his schedule, and he's been able to help a lot. I've been able to make adjustments with my schedule. And really what we're trying to do is make sure that my son, or both of our kids, have the support that they need to be successful, because this is a very new world that they're embarking on also. And then what that showed me is that if we can do it at our level, we can certainly do it for everybody involved. And it's so important that everybody knows that their families come first. We're here to support them. We want to make sure that we can accommodate them with, whether it's reduced hours, different schedules, flexible schedules, a 4-day work week versus a 5, whatever it takes to be able to show their families that, we're here for them.
I'm really glad that you went down some of the specifics, because you can imagine working for an organization that does not listen to the challenges that their field team has. You said it at the top of the interview, and I think it's really paramount to all situations: communication. You sent out something to everybody that said, hey, listen, if you want to talk about it, I'm here to listen. And I can tell you from, the wide swath of clients and companies that I work with, that is not always the case. They don't take the time to listen. So maybe you have some case studies, or, some experience sharing you can share with our audience about what happened when you sent that communication out.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we were sending out communication through our standard platform, which is a lot of, written type of memo communication that everybody has access to. And it was encouraging associates to speak to their leaders about any accommodation that they may need or require to be able to adjust to this. And as we were getting closer and closer to the start date of school, we hadn't gotten much feedback, if any at all, about anybody requesting anything. And just knowing my own personal situation, I knew I can't be the only person out of 800 families that is struggling right now. There's got to be other people that are wondering how they're going to make this work. So I chose to take the advice of Steve, who is big on video communication, and I sent out a video to our entire sales team, which again is close to 800 people, and shared my story with them. And then I asked them to please reach out, if not to their leader, to me directly, and let me know if there's anything that I can do to help or any accommodations I can make within their teams. And I did get a pretty good response with people who one, they saw the memo, but they just were scared to speak up. They didn't know, how serious we were about helping them. And the video for them was a more personal touch. And then secondly, I also had an overwhelming response of people who just didn't even have children, but really appreciated that City Furniture cares enough about their team to make sure that everybody got what they needed to get through this time. So it was a really positive, overwhelming response, and I'm grateful that I took your advice to do it.
Me too. Me too. But you know what? I mean, you bring up a great point. It was genuine and authentic the way you delivered it, and that affects the whole corporate culture. Is that if you're willing to communicate about the hard stuff, that really shows people, sort of the real, blood of the company. And you guys, I'm always amazed as how the leaders are constantly philanthropic, constantly taking care of each other. So I want to shift gears if we can and talk specifically about you. What would you say are the top 3 skill sets that have made you the person you are? Because climbing the ladder in the organization that you have, it was not an easy thing, but you clearly have reached, what would you point to as the things that make you tick?
Oh, good question. So I think for me, the top 3 things, one is I'm motivated. I'm driven. I want to succeed. I don't want to just do something to do it. I want to do it and do it better than I did the day before, or possibly better than it's been done before. And I would say a second thing would probably be I would say I'm a people person. I listen to people. I can relate to people, and that's helped me understand a lot about people and what people want in a leader. And then lastly, I would say probably my willingness to learn. I'm always trying to get better. And so getting opportunities to work with different people, and whether it's through books, people, podcasts, you name it, I want to constantly consume more.
And I will tell you, I will validate that. I've been privileged to have the opportunity to work with you over the last, 8 months. And I would say, just validating what you said, your eagerness to learn and look at yourself and get better is a real great quality of leadership. Understanding that you can get better, and then people follow, your lead, if you will. So in our closing moments, because this has been great, I think you've dropped a couple of major nuggets for people. What would you want to share with the audience about why City Furniture and why Cristy Ruiz?
Okay, so why City Furniture? City Furniture is just it's a great company. I mean, I don't think people stay with a company for 17 years, and I'm not the only one who's been there that long. There's many people that have been
Correct.
there equally as long, if not longer. But it's really the people and the culture of the company, and the belief that we can all really impact those around us, both internally and externally. So, we want to provide a great working place for our team, but we also want to do good in our community, and I think that's a big deal. And then why me? That's a trickier one. Um, I just think that in terms of me with the company, I would say that again, I want to help everybody around me get better every day. I want to help those around me. I want to bring them up and help them reach their goals, and provide whatever resources, tools, experience, whatever I can offer to help them do that.
There was a specific reason why I asked that question. You are hiring, you're growing like crazy. So there's plenty of opportunity there. And
Yeah.
if I was watching this, which, we do reach a pretty big audience, and I was looking for an opportunity, there is an opportunity with City, correct?
Always. Yes, there's always an opportunity with City. We are growing. We're in South Florida and Central Florida, and we will be growing beyond Florida at some point in the next 3 to 5 years. So we always have openings, especially for great people. For us, it's the most important thing is we want good people that believe share the same vision, have the same belief system, and we'll teach you the skills. We'll teach you how to sell.
I love it. I so adore working with you. Everything that you said, I will validate. I'm enamored with the organization and with the culture. And to me, that is something really, really good. Thank you, Cristy, for spending time with us. Give us a way if people want to get in touch with you. Give us your email or your phone number, because I have a feeling that people are going to come running after you.
Absolutely. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn under Cristy Ruiz, but you can email me directly at Cristy, spelled C-R, no H, C-R-I-S-T-Y-R, at city-furniture.com. And I would love to talk to anybody interested.
That's fantastic. Thank you for telling us something good and for spending time with us. You are really on the ball.
Thanks, Steve.